One beat a day, one beat away from the lifestyles that I'm gonna live. One beat away, a heartbeat away, might be today.
Consistent self-improvement, everybody.
You are tuned in to American gypC podcast. I'm your host, gypC, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Classic.
and we have a special guest today by the name of Mikey Amare.
Amare.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Before we get started, I guess I want to give thanks to our Anchor supporters supporting the podcast. Esteganet Toedros. Hope I said your name right. Thank you for the support. And if you want to know more about how you can support the podcast, go to Anchor FM/American gypC. So, Mikey, tell us about a little bit about yourself and what you have going on.
Well, I'm Mikey Amare. I'm an artist out of L.A. Grew up in L.A. Born in Addis. Grew up in L.A. West side of L.A. I'm an artist / YouTuber / entrepreneur.
Yeah, like
That's
a
all I
lot of
could-
people
yeah,
in LA.
yeah, right.
You
So,
have to
yeah.
do multiple
I
things.
do, yeah.
How long have you been in the U.S.?
Like about half my life, so like 16 years.
Okay.
15, 16 years.
Okay.
More. I think more than half of my life. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
with me.
Yeah.
You said you grew up in Addis Ababa?
I grew up in Addis, but my dad we used to travel a lot back then. My dad used to work for the embassy, so we just I seen like different countries growing up, like Libya and like
Okay.
Egypt, some random places. Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your new music that's coming out.
Well, I just dropped a collab EP with one of my boys, Bel Air, based out in Atlanta. We recorded that about a year and a half ago. It was recorded in a car. It was at a moment where me and him were like financially struggling, so we kind of just met up, just did like a 4 or 5 song EP in the car. Got it done, mixed, mastered it. It's out right now. It's called Unstoppable.
You say you recorded it in the car?
Usually I record in my car right now too.
So,
as
like,
well.
what do you use when you're recording in the car?
I just go with my laptop and mic, and I just know how to mix and master my own voice. So it just became a habit, and I kind of like the comfort and like the compression of the car. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard somebody
Right,
do
right.
that. That's actually
No different from the closet.
Right,
No, but
it's the
the
same
quality
thing,
is
yeah.
good too, though.
Right.
Like you can't, I've heard your music, so it's like it's pretty impressive
Yeah.
for it to be recorded in a car.
I mean, I just been finessed a lot, coming up. We used to, Ned was here as guest. We used to record at his house, and then we was never satisfied with the sound, so we
Same
started.
here.
Right. I think as an artist, you can never be satisfied. So we started paying people and, just going to these like Hollywood studios and stuff like that. So we always used to get finesse with the time where they tell us like, oh, no, get this right. And by the time we get it done, it's like 3-4 hours in. I told myself, you know what? I'm going to just do it by myself. And then I started doing that, the car thing on my first album in 2016. I just cranked them out in the whip, and it worked. Ever since then, it was just like, I'm going to just do it myself because I know my voice.
Where were you getting your productions?
Productions from, I had a producer that was sending me beats, but majority of them on YouTube, I just buy them. Yeah.
Okay.
So who are some of the your influences?
Early on, it was, mainly Tupac, Jay-Z, from the old school, like all the like DMX, Nas,
Definitely.
right? Well, new school, just Drake.
Why do you think artists have a problem a lot of times or are not satisfied with the mixes that they get back usually? Because I've had the same issues.
Right.
Why is that?
It's just a comparison thing where you listen to another song that's like somebody that's signed or whatever, and you listen to that song, and then you
Sorry about that
No, you're
noise.
good.
I didn't close the window. For those listening, we do live in downtown LA.
Yeah, sirens happen all the time here.
Oh yeah, it's
But
a way
you're
of life.
saying it's more of a comparison.
Yeah, when you compare a song, say you pull up like, I don't know, a Big Sean song, and then you hear like the tip top quality, and then you see how it's done. Like you know the production, you know how you did it. Say I did it in the car, because I would never feel like, oh, if it was done in the studio, it would have been better.
Yeah.
That's why I always feel like, oh, mine is not like that. But right now, I don't even. I'm like, yo, mine is as good as them. I just have that confidence now.
Okay.
What program do you use to record?
Surprisingly, like GarageBand.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
I take it out of there and I mix it on Logic, and then I master it again. Like I kind of tweak it around, you know.
That's dope. Oh yeah, trust me.
Right.
It's a process to it. Even when we first started, I was using like Audio Studio 7.
Oh yeah,
And,
I remember.
yeah, and I just we didn't know, even when I started, this 2000, I can't say when I started, but when I bought a computer and started using the program and everything,
Right.
I'm in Mississippi, you know, when no YouTube saying
Wow.
what's going on, it's just figure it out,
Right.
you know, so that's kind of basically how we figured out, you know, certain things. And then mixing and mastering was a struggle. We've always had a different sound, and even now,
Mm-hmm.
I could listen to, like you said, I could listen to T.I. production, and it's like it's a fat production.
Right.
You know, how can I get something close to that? And I understand it's just a different channels from how they're processing the
Right.
music, you know. But it's a similar thing to where I'm pleased with how I sound. I get it to sound how I like it in
Right.
here. It's only until you compare it to somebody else
Mhm.
as to where you feel like, it's not good enough. And of course, you want the general public to listen to it too. I know it's even right now, I'm still having a problem. Some of my stuff is too high, but as far as too loud. But I also know that I'm not really studying my mixing and mastering probably like you
Right.
studying mixing and mastering.
Right.
That's when how I was explaining it as far as me as a musician.
Yeah.
I know I'm good at what I do, but I know I'm more I've been in the business side of it more mentally and had to play all positions. So I'm at a point right now where I do still want to learn how to mix and master my own music,
Right.
so I can get it to make, you know, the sound that I want it to sound.
I think it's amazing. I heard a couple of records before it went live. I think it's amazing.
I appreciate it, man. I'm grateful.
But it's
you know,
that satisfaction. You can never get that satisfaction, because I used to play songs for people that are just fans, and I'm like, yo, check this out. And then they would listen to it, and I know the errors, light errors that you know, and then you're like, what do you think about this part? And they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's the the creativeness that they respect, and that's just kind of. I don't use autotunes. I don't have autotunes at all.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people they probably be like, "Yo, you're not supposed to put nothing out without autotunes on."
Mhm.
Like, fuck that. I don't use autotunes.
Yeah.
When I'm singing or whatever, I just.
Right.
And I learned that certain artists don't use it, and you're surprised, or you know. I found myself listening to an artist, not just a huge fan of how talented the artist is necessarily.
Right.
And then to come to find out they use effects, but not auto tunes. And I see music as, of course, vibration, spiritual, a lot of different things. After certain things are added, I feel like it loses a certain type of spiritual power. We're dealing with like auto tunes and stuff, certain things like that. Frequency, all of it is in the same package.
Right.
Do you use auto tunes?
I use auto-tune when I sing. My voice is very raspy, so
I can
don't know how to
understand
sing.
that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what it's for.
Right.
I know that I can sing.
Trust
you know,
me,
and
you
I
don't want to hear
I'm-
me like singing with this voice. It's not gonna work.
The
Yeah.
same with Kanye.
Right. Exactly.
But
yeah.
but we understand that.
Right.
But for me, there's a magical thing with, I guess, with my music. Even I street perform. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole different
Wow.
vibration than what you got here, what you'll hear here.
Mm-hmm.
And you once you see it, you'll be like, wow, that is a complete different. I play cover songs and stuff down there. I only sample and do covers here.
Wow.
I've been thinking about doing a Christmas album,
Wow.
but as far as I'm not big on sampling. A lot of stuff is original. Well, most of my stuff is original.
Mhm.
And I'm just starting to tickle around into old melodies, but not necessarily samples. Like the one of the recent tracks I did, mess around with Ray Charles, "Hit the Road, Jack,"
Yeah.
and don't you come.
Yeah.
I kind of played around with that around the hook,
Uh-huh.
but
So you want everything to be like organic, just your own thoughts and ideas.
I can't say I want it to be. That's just how I'm used to it. That's how
Okay.
I've been. Because I could still listen to some samples and be like, "Yo, that shit is dope."
Right,
Crit
right.
is killer with the samples. I respect the samples, even of course, with Kanye. But do I see myself sitting down chopping up a sample?
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay.
I've always kind of been on the creative side of
Wow.
it.
That's amazing.
He doesn't even listen to other people's music really that
Not-
much,
not a
just so
lot,
he
yeah.
doesn't get influenced by
Yeah.
it, you know.
He's an
I listen
artist.
to other people, right? I
That's what-
listen, but I'm not listening to to everybody. Oh, this the new artist. I'm gonna go listen to their music and make myself like it, or I'm gonna go make myself like
Right.
something.
Because
Nah, I
sometimes
couldn't
when you
do it.
listen to a lot of music, you pick it up subconsciously,
Oh, it definitely bleeds.
and then you might say it, and you're like, wait, it sounds like someone. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And production definitely bleeds because we're inspired. You'll definitely hear everybody that I was inspired by,
Right.
but it's still me.
Uh-huh.
It's not necessarily okay. You definitely took this whole vibe or this whole melody and just built off that melody. Nah, I'll build my foundation, and if I felt like I could hear this little melody
Right.
on top of that from this, then maybe I'll play around with it from there. But I'm not gonna just go and be like, all right, I'm gonna take this whole melody. And actually, I actually did it with the last recent song,
Okay.
"Girl Hurry Up," and that was from a classical melody.
Okay.
But the average person, actually, a lot of classical people probably wouldn't even
Know
catch
it. Yeah.
Yeah, just because it's certain chords that's used over and over again, and you really have to just know the melody to catch it.
Wow. I like those subtle samples where nobody knows where it came from, but
Yeah. Well, they wouldn't even qualify it as a sample,
yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
when you, I guess, can recreate it like that. Yeah,
Wow.
but the creative process is different for everybody,
Yeah.
and hats off for the mixing.
Right.
Even in recording in the car, you use the eyeball or you just straight mic
Straight
record?
mic with
Yeah.
with the little circle filter.
Because all of the padding and everything
I'm
in
in
there,
the car,
it all
like,
makes sense. Yeah, so
3 a.m. just in the car by myself,
yeah.
parking lot, just going crazy.
so like Edward,
Yeah.
like how Edward could say that hunger.
Yeah.
It's almost like a similar thing. Like I can make myself record. I ain't made a beat since like the beginning of this year.
Wow.
Yeah, I just started recording a song a couple of maybe about a week or two ago.
Yeah.
But I've had those changes in life to where I'm noticing it, and the creativity always build up. Yeah, I could sit down, or at least once that time come. Yeah, when it is sit down and go in. Yeah,
Exactly. It just flows out.
it comes in. Producing on the motif, that's what I started with. Maybe 2000, 2002. Started messing around with it 2001, 2002. And basically, it's not like a beat machine.
It's what
Well,
like Ryan Leslie does. I mean,
Yeah.
Exactly. It's amazing.
But it's I got used to basically so many sounds. So actually, after you use so many sounds in there,
Right.
you basically, everything sounds the same to a certain degree.
Wow.
So I didn't graduate to the beat machine when the industry graduated to the beat machine. And I also didn't get into software producing and stuff like that and that was around Atlanta. That's when I guess I dove into photography and a lot of that stuff.
Okay.
Was never really just hip hop. Always dope, but not just quite hip hop. So I got plenty of styles. I started playing the cello when I was 5. Stopped playing the cello for about 7 years when I moved to Atlanta. That's when we first met.
Oh yeah, man.
So the whole music thing it's just been like this. You've probably when did you start doing music?
I started Well, it started off as poetry when I was a kid.
Okay.
So, I think I was like in second grade when I in English class
Hey, girl,
back
check
home.
this out.
No, it's not even. I didn't even write it. It was a book.
Yeah.
That's how I lead it on to it. Like, I read this book, poetry book for homework, and I liked the rhyme scheme of the poetry, and I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And I start writing poetry, some cheesy shit, right? And then you know, I kind of heard like rap music, because we used to get rap music kind of late back home in Africa growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I had
album
a
come out
brother that
96, we
was-
get it 2000. That's how it works. You know what I mean? So I came across this Snoop Dogg album my older brother was playing.
I think
it was the first album. That one.
Yeah, that's
I was like,
That's the
yo,
dope.
I remember running in the living room telling him, yo, what the fuck was that? And he's like, yo, this is blah, blah. And then I just been addicted since. And then I used to like trying to listen to the song. I mean, I knew English, but not that much. But I used to listen to the song and write it out. I'm like, what are they saying? But it was way off, right? that's how kind of that, it was crazy.
yeah.
So I used to write in high school, never kind of took it serious until we in college with Neb, me and him split a $300, $150 each, bought a mic, set it together, started doing songs as a joke. And then it just became like
Yeah.
a habit. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. Because when I started doing it, that feeling that I got, I've never felt anything like that in my life. So, that's
It's a crazy. It's a weird feeling. Man.
Yeah.
It is a weird
Yeah.
feeling. For us, it went from that dope to, or at least that addictive, to make the business side out of it,
right.
to we separating, to
Yeah.
everybody is doing what they do now.
Yeah. Because in high school, we used to do it as a joke. My MySpace was around. I remember. And then we used to do it as a joke, just come up with songs, put it on MySpace and all that. It was literally a joke to us.
Yeah.
Because back then, education-wise, your parents want you to like, yo, go to school, graduate.
Yeah.
So we just never took it serious.
I had a cousin that rapped. We moved from the city, Jackson, Mississippi, where I was raised, moved to Oxford at relative pass. So my mom decided to move to Oxford my 12th grade year, and I had a cousin that was in Oxford that passed. He passed when I was in college, but he rapped.
All right.
And he's one of the first ones that kind of heard some of my instrumentals just from something I had from when I was in performing arts school.
Right.
And basically, that's what pushed me into producer, the knowledge of a producer. And then after I got to college, cats heard me, making beats in the room on the little $200 keyboard.
Wow.
And that's when I got the knowledge of Kanye and what a producer was. I was pre-vet.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
on an orchestra scholarship, but I still wanted to do pre-vet.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really start writing and stuff until 2001, 2002, college-wise.
Wow.
But it went from writing hooks to not really having a voice to sing, to writing my own raps, to writing my own whole song, singing the hook, rap the song, rap the hook, and kind of
So
grew
you
from
didn't
there.
grow up from like singing.
No,
Kind of.
it came
Wow.
along with
What?
No, he said he
yeah.
That's
Taught
crazy.
him.
Learned
himself
from
how to
everybody
sing.
else.
That's
From
crazy.
Indy Irie and
because it's a muscle. That's why they go to vocal
Oh, that-
coaches and things like
See,
that.
I didn't know.
You
Oh,
can
yeah.
practice.
your singing gonna get better.
I thought you just
Nah.
kind of like get
Same
born.
here,
Yeah.
and apparently that's why they have people that like
Yeah.
work with your voice and over time work you up.
So it's
to
like a
better
muscle,
sing.
literally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is
Yeah.
a muscle.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
You'll see. Yours will get stronger.
Yeah.
The more you
'Cause
sing
I-
it, you'll
I-
hear the notes more.
I support myself with like auto tune.
Yeah,
I like, but
it'll still get better though.
okay.
Yep, it's
Yeah.
still gonna get better. I have a partner. Shout out to Dirt YD over in Atlanta. Yeah, his voice done got better. His singing done got better over the years.
Yeah, especially if you mix yourself and you master yourself, you kind of figure out how to tweak your own sound.
Mhm.
So it makes sense. That's
How
why
did you learn how to mix?
mix it.
Like, what resources did you use?
just being on Logic, just being like frustrated with people coming out the studio and they send me the same thing I did when I was even not doing any, like when I was just recording at home. It sounded like the same quality, if not worse. And I'm like, I paid you this much money to give me the same product, if not bad.
And you start to question yourself, like, damn, am I that good?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
And then I was like, yo, like, I'll just do it by myself. Cause I remember there's a funny story. Like I kind of just put up, it was my first kind of official mixtape or whatever back then, where I kind of put some songs together, and then we drove to San Diego to deliver it to some guy to master it and mix it. And then we paid $300. I'll never forget. It was my last $300. I think one of my homies split it with me. It was weird. We drove there, and then it was a guy, we met him, and then we gave it to him, and then a day later he sent it back, and then it was like, yo, he didn't do shit. That's when the frustration came, you know. And I said, you know what, fuck this shit. I'm gonna do it in the whip by myself. I don't care. I'll get it right. And
yeah, that's been one of the most frustrating things, even with him. It's like
Right.
we'll send it off to somebody to mix and master,
Right.
and we trust, but
It's
can't
either they
really
just
quite
turn it up,
do,
and
that's it.
like,
Yeah.
and he did a lot of cello stuff, and people don't know how to mix that, or his style of cello playing. There's a lead cello, and they'll like turn it down. It was just like it sounded
You gotta
a
understand.
lot better when he just
made it sound pleasing to
Yeah.
the ear from what I did.
did a quick mix.
So
That
I can
sounded-
say now, as things balance out, I'll get back to my mixing
Right.
to perfect how because I've definitely put out stuff that I've mixed myself
Mm-hmm.
and just fucking
I mean,
put it
it's
out.
good enough to me when I hear it in a big speaker. It sounds good.
Appreciate
You know what I mean?
I know it could sound better though.
Oh yeah,
the
always,
thing.
always.
I know it can sound
That's
better.
always
So
the thing with you.
right, but it's like I know I don't have certain plugins.
Right.
It's a lot of shit that I know I don't have that's just basic, and it's not really that it's just really getting to a point music wise, because reality of you can make a certain amount of money doing music. For
Right.
me personally, I moved here. I drove Uber for about 1.5 years, and then I started street performing. From street performing, I got to learn more about human behavior than necessarily, about getting an opportunity. It's really become more about, all right, let me see what all I can learn to a certain degree out here, because even for what I do, I'm pretty good at what I do. The money part was going to be there. I figured out, all right, look, you're going to have your good days, you're going to have your bad days. Just work on your skill then, or just, enjoy it out here. Figure out why you out here to a certain degree. So I realized I can take some gigs from out there. People going to offer me some bullshit gigs.
Right.
Artists are going to walk up to me and going to feel like, yo, dude, you play an instrument, you should do whatever I want you to do. You should, whatever you want to go to the studio? I'm like, nah, I own a studio.
Wow.
And it's more, learning human behavior.
Right.
So, and that kind of goes in the same bucket with you pay somebody to mix and master and they just don't.
Yeah, the internet is gonna finesse you regardless. There's always somebody that has like a mediocre, like below average skill. That's always gonna feel like I can make money from the internet and just say, I do this for Fiverr. You guys heard of Fiverr, right?
Yeah.
So they could say, I could mix your album for $50, and he gets a bunch of them.
So you've used like people online, like mixers that you've never met?
Yeah, we tried everything.
Okay.
We tried like with the whole team. We tried everything. Didn't work. So I was like, I seen I kind of came across this gypC video. Like this was way back when he was like getting interviewed in a XXL, and he was like, "Yo, if y'all can't do it, I could do it myself. Move over." It was a video of him like talking to the engineer like that, and I was like, it just the light bulb just went off, and I was like, I could do this shit,
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's so many
It's a
finessers
gift, man.
online, yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a gift to have the ambition to do it, because even right now with the pandemic, you have signed artists that can't do shit for themselves.
Right.
And that's like, come on, man, it's 2020.
Right. Most of their revenue was off tour. So the tour stopped, then what?
But even recording for themselves, they can't go to the studio. They don't have an in-house recording studio.
Which they could do. They just don't do it. This is the sad part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That ambition.
Yeah.
You know, so
They don't have it.
You gotta have the
Lot of
hunger
respect
for
for
it
that.
too.
Right.
Yeah.
So LA, man, how has LA been to you?
I grew up here, so I understand like the whole thing. So I know like people come to LA and they crumble. I seen it.
Y'all notice that, y'all. He said he understands the whole thing. You know,
The whole-
that's,
like-
you gotta know that it's a thing.
It is.
LA is a thing.
I've seen,
It's
you know,
living.
it's fake. I mean, you meet up with people, say, let's do this. You don't do it.
Yeah.
And I'll check in with you. Y'all don't check in with each other. I seen people move out here trying to be artists, actors, trying to do their own thing, fashion, all that. They crumble, go back to their mama. I seen it all. So
Yeah.
I've always, I learn. What I do is I learn from people. I seen people's mistakes and try not to do them. Always. I seen a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Trust me. It's crazy.
Oh, we have too. Yeah,
But
yeah.
me being here, I'm not what do you call it? Like fantasized by like, yo, I'm in LA. I've been here. Like, okay.
Right.
And
Is
you
this
said,
the
you
first place
understand
you
the
moved
thing.
to?
yeah,
in the
like
US?
straight off, fresh off the boat, boom, here.
That's awesome.
LA. So it's like Beverly Hills. I seen it all. I went to school here. I went to the beach growing up, Santa Monica.
What was your first job?
My first job was I was a parking attendant.
Oh my God. So typical.
I know.
Yeah.
And then no, I did it for a month. I'll never forget. I did it for a month where they placed me 5 floors down, basement, Westwood, and it was so hot. There's no fan. They caught me sleeping, and they said, "Yo, you can't sleep." And I said, "You know what? Fuck this shit. I'll quit. I'll quit after a month." It was a summer job.
Was it
That sounds
hard
about right.
when you first moved to the U.S.?
I moved with my family, so you know my dad was working, so.
I just meant like adjusting to like
Oh, definitely.
to the lifestyle.
Oh,
you know,
definitely. It was.
I had an accent when I came here, so it was a little hard. And
Same.
I
It
don't
was,
know
it was
what-
the same thing. Like when I first came here, I knew English.
Mhm.
Cause I went to a private school and back home.
What school?
Yeah, like some Indians. It's called
Okay.
Indian school. So Indians taught
Same
us.
here, yeah.
You went there?
I went to Indian community and Indian.
I went to national. So.
I went to national first. And
Oh
then
wow!
to-
See, Once
all
you say
my
so-
family passed
Gotta
through
love it.
there.
Okay, so English wasn't hard because that's how we was
Same,
taught.
yeah.
But our English wasn't correct like Americans,
Yeah.
right? It was the Indians that taught us. No disrespect to Indians, you know. But when I came here, I used to pay attention to how people speak.
Mm.
And I used to go and practice it in the mirror, like word for word. Like, say, for example, I'm talking to you, and then you say some words, and I didn't know how to say it. I used to write it down, go home and practice it like 30 times in the mirror. And I'm like,
Oh,
yeah,
you were committed.
right. Yeah, I kind of beat myself always when it comes to like anything challenging. I'm like, yo, I'm going to figure it out. I'm a figure out guy, yeah. So, it's crazy.
Yeah, I went back to hear what my accent sounded like back then. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, yeah.
But, yeah.
That's how me and Neb connected in middle school. When I first came, that's the first person I met.
Okay.
Yeah. And the first word he said to me was, "Are you an immigrant?" I'll never forget. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Some of the places around LA as far as, I guess, travel-wise or tourist-wise, from the beach to the desert to the mountains,
Mhm.
for people that haven't traveled to LA, how would you describe just the lifestyle of having, not just the people, but just the geographics and the nature of LA?
I mean, you can do anything here, right? You could go to the beach. Beach is amazing. You go to Hollywood. Hollywood is not as big as you think it is, because even us coming from Africa, we thought Hollywood was like this gigantic area, but
Right.
it's just a little strip.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people think downtown LA is huge.
Yeah, because they, through like sports or whatever, when Lakers are playing, they show you the downtown, the aerial view, and then you're like, wow, if you're not from here, you know.
Right.
And it's like, when you see it, it's really not. It's never been like how you think of it.
Yeah.
Anything in life. So I mean, if you want to do like hiking, it's fun. It's fun stuff you could do.
Have you done all of that stuff?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Growing up,
Some people haven't. You know, some people
I
been
know.
out here their whole life.
Yeah.
I haven't, like, to be honest with you, I haven't been to the beach in like a year and a half now.
Oh wow!
Can
I
you
was just
swim?
about to ask.
I can swim, yeah. I can't float. I can swim. It's weird.
What?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
had
was a
another person
lifeguard.
say
Yeah.
that. That doesn't
That was
make
me,
sense
though.
because
Yeah.
you didn't
Yeah.
have to try to float.
But
It
yeah,
just happened.
I can't just sit in water and just
Yep.
go like that.
Your
I
body-
can swim though. Yeah.
Your body just sink, right?
Right.
Yeah, and that's kind of me too. It's like I just
Maybe
can't
if
get
you
it
got
to
some
sit
weight,
there.
that's
Yeah.
how
You
you
know, people
do it.
sit
I
there
don't
and
know.
float on the top
Yeah.
of the water, and it's like, man, you just gotta let your body go. It's like, yo,
I was actually going to
It's not
ask you
working.
what's your favorite beach because it's different for people that are locals versus people who are new.
I
to,
like. I don't know why people hate on Venice Beach because it's very like active and very like festive,
Okay.
diverse.
too.
yeah, creative.
Creative.
Yeah.
I like Santa Monica. That's more like family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Malibu's to surf. Manhattan Beach is to play volleyball. It's all like they all have,
Hermosa's to drink late nights.
right. Exactly. Yeah. Venice. I say Venice Beach.
What's your favorite thing about California in general, but LA as well?
Well, it's home to me. I like it. It's home, and I grew up here. The weather.
Yeah.
The weather reminds me of back home.
And of course, being
Yeah,
Habershaw, what's your
just similar.
favorite Habershaw restaurant?
Oh, I got. I don't have a favorite, but I have specific restaurants have specific items.
Yes. We would
So,
like those
Are you guys
recommendations.
vegans or no?
No.
Nah.
we
Okay,
don't.
yeah, I like meat. Okay, so for kitfo, the raw tartar meat,
Yeah.
we go to Muscle.
Okay.
For veggie combo, we go to Awash.
Okay.
You guys know Awash?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
ate
we
there a
went
lot.
there.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
If you guys want, you guys ever heard of Cornies?
Nah.
What is that?
Cornies is like a combination of 3 items that's compiled together. Cornies means like a ceiling, so it means just compiled up to
Okay.
That's what it is. For that, you go to Lalibela.
Okay.
I'm I'm shouting out all these spots. Shout out to them. I go there, so it
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yes, we
shout
do
out
the same
to-
thing.
Yeah.
Shout out everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been to Lalibela and Awash. I think Neb mentioned
Awash is amazing,
So we're
isn't it?
we went
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have any breakfast recommendations?
Breakfast,
Full?
you gotta. You like full.
Or jajapsa?
Jajapsa, I think it's if you want to go there, you I think not Muscle Mercado. Mercado is kind of it's cool,
Okay.
but I like Ethiopian breakfast at home. Where
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
mama
most
makes it. It's like
I know.
fire.
But we out here, no mess.
Yeah, but eggs and jajapsa, if you guys want Ethiopian style eggs, my mouth is getting water. I haven't eaten. At Mercado, yeah.
Yeah, it's I realized breakfast is not popular here because in Atlanta, there's plenty of places to
I
grab
love Atlanta,
some good
for sure.
Habesha food in general, but
Yeah.
also breakfast. DMV, same thing.
Yeah,
So
I was just in
kind of
Atlanta.
disappointed.
for the first time in August.
Okay.
It was best time of my life. It was amazing.
Oh, so you went there post COVID was for your first
Yeah,
time.
it was. I fell in love with it.
Yeah. What do you
the
like about it
The
there?
culture, the food. I like the fact that it's all black people.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is like
But
LA,
also
but black
friendly.
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
very friendly. But I saw it as an opportunity.
LA,
I don't know how people party from Sunday to Sunday. I don't know what they do, scamming, whatever. But but I'm like, yo, this is a good spot to open up a business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, that's one thing I noticed, in Atlanta. First off, I moved there from Minnesota,
Okay.
and so it was a lot of black people,
Yeah,
first of
yeah.
all, which was great coming from Minnesota,
Mhm.
but then a lot of hustlers. It's definitely a
definitely.
hustle city. And even with the Abasha community, I've seen more Abasha businesses than anywhere else that I've lived
Right.
in. So, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It
Atlanta's
was
dope.
amazing.
Yeah, I miss Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can move out there, to be honest with y'all.
You know what's funny? We've
Yeah.
seen, since we moved here, we've been seeing a lot of Atlanta people move here.
And then
And they just feel like, we asked them, why'd you move here? And one of the things was they feel like big fish in a small pond, and like here, you know, it was time for them to move, I guess, to a bigger city. I don't know. But, you know, I think
I would enjoy both
no
cities.
matter where you go, like every few years or every 7 years or whatever, like you need a change.
Yeah.
So
I've been here for the most part. That's why I'm like, yo, let me shake out of here and come back.
Yeah.
Reconnect, you know?
So what are you, as far as music wise, what do you see in the future, and has it changed since this pandemic or lockdown?
Well, the pandemic just froze a lot of things, but as far as like where I see myself, just being independent, because, you know, to be honest with you, I'm at a point where like I get paid for my music, because ownership, when you have ownership, like say I'm signed to a label, you know, I won't even see, like from my streaming, I won't even see like a dime from it or a penny for it, you know, rather, but just keep grinding it out independent, you know. One of my songs independently made it to a movie as a score.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was like a couple years ago, like a year and a half ago. Song called "Need That." It made us a movie called The Florida Project, where even the movie was like nominated for an Oscar, which was amazing, because they just reached out to me on Facebook randomly.
I was gonna ask how, because that's one of the things we were aiming for when we first moved here, is to go after more music, movie placements and sync licenses.
I didn't even expect it. I randomly woke up. Randomly, I don't even go on Facebook. Something told me to go on Facebook, and this producer just wrote me a messenger and said, "Yo, we like the song. We like to put it on this movie. Sign this contract." And I was like, "What? Okay."
How was it? Do you feel like, were you satisfied with the agreement, I guess?
No. I did it just get
for the exposure.
Exposure.
The
they didn't pay me anything. I never told anybody this, but I didn't get paid anything from it. I was like not even $2.
Not even like afterwards, like as far as royalties.
No. Okay. That to me, when I did that, it gave me a lot of exposure after. Yeah. Because the song kind of like,
and a lot of self-pleasure.
Right.
Yeah.
To me, I was like, yo, I went on, I watched the movie and I saw my name and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, it's possible.
Yeah. Definitely.
And that's kind of what actually inspired us to really become more of our own filmmakers. Not necessarily, you know, with casting and stuff like that, but even in our YouTube way, to where just to present things in the future in more of a film kind of way. Because, man, we can go to the beach and do snorkeling for hours. A movie is an hour to 2 hours, basically. So those are films, you know, and that's kind of how we start to visualize you know, what we do some things instead of casting for a music video, just basically put an adventure to the music.
Right.
I guess I asked about if you were satisfied, because some of the, like when it comes to sync licensing and placements, a lot of the, I guess the ads or the posts that we've seen for it, it's like they take most of it. It's like they might give you some up front, but
I'll be honest
you
with
don't really get, you know.
I was in a desperate state. Like, I did that song.
But you didn't lose anything.
I didn't lose anything.
Like,
I actually gained. That's what I'm saying.
So
music is music. You know. We can keep creating it.
Right.
It's not,
I could make another
for
need
sure. It was a good thing.
It was crazy. Like, I did the song in the car, like the same way I was driving, and then my one of my friends kind of assisted me with that song. It wasn't even like that. Well, he gave me the melody, and I kind of ran with it. Right. I was driving. That's my creative process. I drive before I record. Okay. So I did the song, and then I kind of put it on Instagram, and I seen how people reacted to it, and I was like, okay, this is special. And then I gave it to one of my friends. He was connected to some YouTube channel that was like big. It's called Rap Nation. They had like 2-3 million subscribers, and I told him to put it on there, but I couldn't afford a video to do it because because the song is about a girl, a stripper.
Oh,
yeah, I need that. So it was about her. So I was like, yo, I couldn't even afford anything. We put the song out. The song kind of like got immediately like 40,000 something plays. And and then we just shot the video like a year ago. A year later, which was 2 years, right? But when we did the song, I got approached by the producer. I think he might have caught it from there, and then they gave me a contract. I just signed it. In fact, I gained something from it, to be honest. Instead of, I don't look back and say like, oh, yo, they finessed me. They should.
Oh no,
paid me.
even the self-satisfaction of seeing your music and
Them actually wanting it and using it is, you know,
So
It was amazing.
it's a, you know, it's gratitude.
Right.
So, but it's like, it's not something that you would definitely want to get into that.
Yeah,
habit of doing
like
a lot.
now,
and that's, and it's not even looking at it like you made a mistake or anything. It's
No, not
just
at all.
understanding that, okay, music is not a problem. Creativity is not the problem. You create. And even with saying that, like even where you're at right now in your career, what do you feel like you're missing? Of course, you know, we have the $1 billion industry. For artists like, I guess, of course, a loyal following, what would you call a satisfied, loyal following for you?
What do you mean?
Say a loyal following that when you put out some music, you know they're definitely going to listen to it. When you put out a new T-shirt, they're going to buy that T-shirt. When, you know, basically loyal fans. What is a satisfying, or what is, of course, we would want millions.
Oh, you talking about a number? You want a number?
Right. If you had a number, well, not necessarily a specific number, but a satisfied, like I said, what's the max is there.
Yeah.
What would you consider like the scenario for any artist for them to have a loyal following, whether it's 500 loyal followers, 1,000 loyal followers, 10,000 loyal followers?
I would say million.
Right.
You got to go high.
No, I'm saying, I know that's, you know, as far as the main goal for a lot of people, but
oh, right. You talking about right now?
right. As far as to be happy with doing music,
I don't have a specific number, but I can
but
tell
not be a superstar at the
Right.
same time.
I don't have a specific number, but I want it to gradually grow.
Yeah.
Like if it was 200, I want it to be 300 next month. I want it to be
Right.
400 next month. But I want it to never stop. I want it to incline.
Oh yeah, that's why I was saying we know it's infinite,
Right.
but I guess even from where I know I only have so many followers myself as far as or loyal fans. I have more street performance loyal fans than I do on social media or anything
Right.
like that.
Right.
And that's kind of even how I've looked at it with streams and stuff. I have music online. I go out there, I promote that I have music online,
Right.
but I guess to go back to the behavior of people, it's easier to get people to drop money in the bucket than it is to get them to press subscribe on the YouTube channel.
100%. Yeah.
YouTube is
sure.
the hardest.
For sure.
It's extremely hard to get them to subscribe. And
I think with YouTube, you have to be able to. The YouTube game is just. I do YouTube, by the way. I do vlogs and stuff.
Okay.
I do like.
Let them know your YouTube.
Yeah, Mikey Amare vlogs. I talk about finances and like how to get your money up and all that. So
Okay.
how to fix your credit, blah blah blah. I talk about some finance stuff and I do some music stuff. The way I grew my YouTube channel, I could tell y'all I had another channel where I was like just doing some back home politics and it just shot up and it blew. The way to grow on YouTube is just to be consistent. It's that simple.
Yeah.
So if you're an artist, most of the time what people do is post once every 6 months with a video or once every 3 months. That's not gonna get you enough audience for people to say, "Oh, I like him." And then
So what's a good consistency number?
like I would say like I would follow like you guys know who Russ is the white rapper.
No.
You guys don't know him? Okay.
Yes, a lot of, like,
He
a lot
just
of people
does
I
he
don't
just
know.
does like a weekly kind of songs, and that's the way he blew up. So he does weekly videos. So if you can do every day, like say for example, you guys do the podcast, right? So you seen Joe Rogan, his uploads
Yeah,
are like
damn near every day.
consistent
Yeah.
for 10 plus years straight.
Yeah.
So once you can post videos every day with the right thumbnail, with the right tags, and then you know the SEO is gonna pick it
Yeah.
up. The algorithm is gonna kick in. Then it's gonna be a snowball. That's
Do
how it
you,
works.
So when it comes to YouTube,
Right.
do you have any opinions on like keeping a niche channel versus like doing multiple things on a channel, or splitting your, I guess, your videos into different channels?
Right. That's what I like.
So
I've done that, but
we struggle, but with the two, like I'm always like, we might need to split things up so
Right.
that, this audience might not be interested in this audience, or if it helps the algorithm that way, because I know with any of these platforms, you have to work with the algorithms.
Right.
So do you have any opinions on, which one you think works better?
well, as far as podcasts, you have to be able to post the whole thing and then post little clips to get people's attention.
Right.
Yeah.
Within the same channel or just different channel?
We got music
So-
on that channel. We also
Oh no, you can't mix music and
so
podcast.
this is okay. So this
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
thing. American Gypsy podcast, YouTube. So the podcast is one thing, and we do post the videos of the podcast. See, the YouTube channel is not just for the podcast. The podcast is one of the things that we're adding to it. So that they
Yeah.
can have another platform where they can come get it,
Yeah.
just in case they're not on Spotify or anything else. But before that, we were doing, we do vlog videos, we do his music videos,
snorkeling.
we have like
Travel.
snorkeling adventure, travel adventures.
It's basically us. It's
yeah.
our channel.
It's like,
basically.
yeah. So I kind of split it up into different playlists for people.
Oh no.
So that,
No,
that would
I
help,
think
but-
if you want to do like YouTube, the way I did it, and I've seen it, I've done it with multiple channels, and it worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have 1 million subscribers, but I can tell you, I reach monetization with my channels, and I kind of generate money from them. But
Yeah.
what I do is if it's, say for example, you guys do podcasts and you guys want to do vlog like snorkeling or whatever, just have a separate channel and just crank the videos out.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna grow. But with podcasts, just keep it perfect. Like people want to see like an organized folder on YouTube. When they come and then they see you. For example.
But it's a lot of podcasters
That's-
that don't have YouTube as well.
Is there?
Well, that's the thing.
'Cause podcast is audio
huge.
only.
It's actually
but
an
people-
audio only. Now, when Joe Rogan started doing video, and like T.I. and a couple other people,
No, there's plenty of-
everybody, like there's a lot of now people more jumping into YouTube,
Right.
as their podcast platform. But podcast originally is
It was
an
audio for sure. Yeah.
and there is a lot more. I guess when I was listening to podcasts a lot more, I appreciated that they were on like Spotify or like other places, because when you're watching YouTube, you can't when you're multitasking, especially when you're listening to a 3-hour thing or a 1-hour thing, you want to be able to like work or like wash the dishes or do multitask,
Right.
or like use your GPS when you're driving and things like that. So
I
I
think
kind of appreciate, I think a lot of podcasters do listen on an audio platform.
yeah, when you're driving, but when you're home, people would rather want to
Watch it. Yeah.
I think you have to simplify it for the fans.
yeah.
It's always been that way.
I do it just to not create friction, as Gary
Yeah.
likes to say. Like, if you want to get it in whatever form, we'll have it for you in whatever
It's simple.
form. So
It's
we'll
simple.
do it, videos. But
It's simple. You just got to simplify it for them. Just say, "Oh, here it is." Like for Instagram, right? Scroll up so you can see the video. It's simpler than them clicking out, going to YouTube, searching it,
yeah.
or just put a link in my bio. They click the link, they watch it, and done. That's just how it works. Once you, our attention span right now is like
Yeah.
shithole, like mess. So the moment you simplify it for an audience, trust me, they'll pay attention, and everybody pays attention.
Yeah.
You never know who's watching, so.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
they
one of the
watching.
things I do want to split up and have multiple channels for certain things, because
Yeah.
we do have a lot of variety of things on the channel. But I try to, like, when you first come in, break things up into their little playlist.
Like, for example,
So-
if you look at, like, Complex, right? For example, that's a big channel.
Yeah.
They have variety of shows
Right. So
But they
that's
have,
kind of
like-
how I took it.
Right,
yeah.
but they're big and like they're super huge. Like,
Right.
it doesn't matter.
And it doesn't work with
Right.
the algorithm when
Right.
you do that.
Right.
So
Because the algorithm gets confused because you're doing, say for example, you're doing finance and then you're doing vlogs,
yeah,
and then you don't know which video is gonna,
yeah,
pick up. So
I guess that's why even for our subscribers, we're trying to get them to where that's what they expect when they come to the page to us or to the
Right.
the channel, because a lot of people, well, I guess when they see me out there, they probably expecting to go and see me playing my instrument. But whenever I'm playing my instrument and doing that type of stuff on like Instagram and YouTube, it's not really that much engagement. So I guess like trying so many things, consistency may not have been long enough, of course, but also on another one of my channels, I got Carlos Miller and some other comedians. It's a whole different type of channel. And we know why.
Yeah.
That's why. But
Right.
if I had any other videos on there, they would still just want to see that one thing,
Exactly.
of course. So for us to manage multiple pages and stuff like that, and even just to, as the overall goal, that's kind of one of the continuous things we clashed with. Like, is that really what we want to focus on? Yeah, we'd like to get paid from YouTube, but do we want to have to create so many pages just to get that? Or do we, even just, it's hard to separate that sometimes for certain people, even because.
Right. I mean, YouTube made a lot of millionaires, to keep it real.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? The internet is like the greatest thing that ever happened. So knowing that, I think it's a matter of just like, just dividing your time. Because I know when you have I have a bunch of channels and it's frustrating.
Yeah.
I just write it down and I say, okay, do this at this time. Do this at this time. Post a vlog today. Do some music later on. Work out. Like, I just divide my time. I think if you
time management is definitely
right, time
important.
management, that's the word. I have a brain fart. Yeah.
And do you keep your channels like one subject or a couple of subjects?
Yeah,
Similar?
Well, when I started the YouTube channel, my vlog channel, I was just vlogging as I wanted to document my fitness journey just on a personal level. And I felt like when I first did it, it was like, as an artist, I was like, yo, I'm exposing myself. I don't know for what reason. I was like, yo, and then I said, you know what, fuck this shit. I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry.
No, it's
Yeah.
all good.
Okay. And then I just started reacting to reactions get the most views, by the way.
Yeah.
So I started reacting to songs, and one of the songs, some Asian Korean song I was reacting to, just took off, and I was like, okay. And right after that, I was trying to find my niche. So it just ended up being like, whenever I start talking about like finance or money wise, which was like, right when I start getting money, I start telling my story of like, yo, you can do this and this and this and that. And then people start paying attention. And then I was like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. And then by then I start getting monetized. And then,
How long ago was this? Because I know YouTube changes all the time.
Yeah. So when you want to get monetized, there's a rule, a 4,000 hour watch time
and then
with 1,000 subscribers, right? Which is a 240,000 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's about 50,000 views.
Gotcha.
On one video. So, I'm sorry, what were you asking me?
I was asking you, like, how long ago you got started with YouTube, I guess. Because I know it's different when you're starting off YouTube now versus, let's say, 10 years ago or 6 years ago.
I started 2016.
Okay.
I canceled the channel because I wasn't bold enough to, like, put myself on camera or, like, crazy. I don't know. I was shy. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
And then 2018, I picked it up. And then I told you I was doing that gym stuff. I quit, and then I remember Thanksgiving of 2018. That was 2 years. March 2 years right now. Okay. So I got monetized in November 2019.
Oh, so it took you about a
I
year
took- so-
to get.
A year monetization, and then it's been a year since I've been monetized.
Okay. And it took you how long after you started your channel to get monetized?
So from 18 to 18 November,
Okay.
I didn't post anything. It was just there.
Okay.
So from November to November, a year.
Okay.
But I was working. I had a job, so
yeah.
I was working and all that. So it was going on and off with the YouTube. But the minute I was like every day posting, that it took off. I did the watch time in 1,000, and I had to wait. You have to wait like 2 weeks or 3 weeks
Okay.
for them to say, "Oh, you in the partner program now. You monetize." You know, but it should take less than, like, knowing what I know now. It should take less than 3 months to get monetized, because you can advertise your. You guys know that, right?
The
On AdSense.
Google AdSense.
Yeah,
thing?
you can literally advertise your videos and then grow. It just takes money to make money.
Yeah.
It's just
And
that simple.
I've been thinking about. It's weird. I kind of thought about it
Yeah.
today too.
Because the same way like Facebook ads is the same thing as like Instagram.
Yeah, like we messed around with Instagram and Facebook ads when he releases songs and things like
Right.
that, or merch. So that works to a certain extent, but we haven't tried it with YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
Google Ads. It gives you how many?
would you say that helps a lot?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. You have to understand how the AdSense works, because if you just say, "Oh, I'm gonna just dump $80 or $100," because it's not gonna narrow down to like what kind of people, what
Right.
country. You have to like, if it's a podcast, you have to narrow it down to like people that listen to podcasts, so it just shoots to them rather than like every other YouTube page. Then it would be people that would watch it, but they wouldn't comment, so that the views would look kind of off. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But YouTube is a blessing. That's like a university. You can learn anything you want. You can
Yeah.
make money from it. It's the best thing that ever happened, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's something that we're gonna start contributing to more and more,
Right.
and maybe think about. Because I think one of the things that hurts our channel is like we have so many things. Because initially
I
I
don't think
did.
it hurt it though.
It doesn't.
No, it's just a
I think
matter of
Well,
like
it
figuring
hurts
Right.
in
Once
the
once it
algorithm,
gets-
not like the algorithm likes it a certain way. They like that niche channel that provides one thing, but we have like a lot of different things
Yeah.
in one thing. And
the main thing is just the thumbnail. The thumbnail got to be fire.
yeah, I
That's
put
it.
in some time
Yeah.
with the thumbnails and
Just the thumbnail got to be like, wow, okay, what is that? Because you ever catch yourself just clicking some stupid video?
oh yeah,
And
so
then you're like, why did I watch it?
yeah,
It's a
I
thumbnail.
put in some time with the thumbnails, go to Canva and kind of design everything and
Right.
make sure you add all the words so they know, for all
Right.
the lazy people like all of us.
So, what do you think about, or what's your view on the spiritual community out here?
All right, I'll keep it real.
Yeah, that's what
I think
we're here
it's.
for.
I think as far as everybody in LA, I think it's a trend.
Yeah,
People
just the whole
follow it. It's fake.
energy.
It's very fake, because people hop on trends.
LA is a trendy spot.
It's a
They
trendy.
love-
Like tomorrow, if it's like, oh, no more cows, people become no more cows or vegan, plant based or whatever. Like what's that thing? What's that thing you burn? The little plant.
Sage.
Sage.
Yeah.
Like people pick it up because I don't know. I think I'm not trying to judge anybody, you know what I mean? But I see it most of the time where people pick up trends and then they want to make it seem like that was their lifestyle like 3 years ago, and I'm like, you were a completely different person. But then again, I can't judge them because they probably are fully
Right.
they probably fully
they
picked
can
it up and
change
just start
now.
Yeah.
But people switch back up when it's like another trend happens. They're like, oh, all right. That's what it is. That's how I
Yeah.
feel about it, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's that's why we asked, just to get people's view on, even like I said, I've studied human behavior down
Right.
there
Right.
in the Skid Row area, almost basically, because man, you'd be surprised how homeless people get around out here. You may see them in downtown LA, then you go to Venice, you'll see them in Venice, and then it's just like, okay, I see y'all. You don't just sit in one place.
Right. I mean,
It stopped. Okay, but yeah, they don't sit in one place.
you got these are people like that came to be somebody. Most of them,
Yeah,
and that's the sad part.
That's a hard reality. There.
Yeah. So you look at that, and then you say, "Damn, okay."
Man, I've had people come up to me and say some of the weirdest things. Just, and it's even talking about the industry, but it's just random because
Right.
people have gotten used to me being there.
Right.
So they might see me there one day and might come back through when they somewhere else in their brain and just start talking.
Right.
So
You just got to be a strong
like
person.
you said, it's people out here that they came here to be something.
Yeah.
And it seemed like they just trapped
Yeah.
into in a whole nother world. They trapped in a trauma
Yeah.
almost.
That's why I don't even smoke weed, man. Like, to me, it's like, yo, I'm not touching any of it. Like, I'm good. I seen them all, bro. Like, I seen them. I seen people crumble in front of me. That they come here and then it's like, oh, I'm going back. Or they go crazy, and then they like, yo, their mama call them, and they go back. So it's like,
So what's the dating like in LA? Because I know that's one of the things that we hear about a lot in terms of like it's hard out here.
It is.
In the dating.
it is hard. I mean, everybody's cliquey for one.
Mm.
So, say like, I only dated, Habershaw girls or whatever. So
Okay.
everybody knows each other. So if I dated one girl, everybody's
Mm.
friends. So it's like, all right, game over.
Oh wow.
Because they're like, oh, okay, because it's a small community.
Yeah.
Even now it gets smaller because now Instagram is like a community now. Everybody from each state know each other. But as far as like dating, outside, there's people around, but
Yeah.
it's hard. It's hard, man. It's hard. I would just leave it there.
Okay.
Get your back first. That's all.
So what's some advice you would give to some people that's moving here from LA?
Don't expect much. Don't hang out with the wrong crowd. Focus, because it's a very distracting city. Because it's always events. Pre-COVID, it's always events. It's always stuff happening. But people use that excuse of like, oh, I'm going there to network. And then that becomes like you lie to yourself. You lie to your brain saying like, what are you doing partying? And then they say, I'm going to network. So-and-so is there. So-and-so going to be there. But they're going there to just chill. They're going there to drink. They're going there to smoke.
True.
But you lying to yourself. You're not even knowing you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
So I would say, just focus. Not every party, not every networking party is gonna change your life, because those days are over. I feel like those days are over because you can change your life sitting at home in your computer making gazillion dollars.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen 1,000. If you move out here, focus. That's it. Like laser focus. Work out. Just eat right. Don't be going to them like bum ass parties. Like that shit don't make sense, to be honest with you.
So without saying too much, what's one of the craziest things you've seen out here at a party or a gathering?
Well, as far as drugs,
That's about it.
yeah, like coke and just just girls, people like women getting lied to, saying like I know so and so, and then just
They're like, okay.
yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? I'll connect you. I'll change your life. I'm a photographer. Blah blah blah. I'm connected to this person. It's all fake. So
Man.
there's real people too.
Yeah.
And it makes it hard for the real people. I
Right.
can say that. It
Right.
definitely makes it hard for the real people because, like me, I can't take too many people serious
Right.
out there.
Right.
I respect everybody right off, but my energy level is not really going to
Mm-hmm.
bounce through the roof. Somebody tell me, hey, I directed this movie of such and such, or if I'm this artist, or I songwrite for this person, or I work with this, or I produce. Okay, Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
That's
because you an energy
that's
person.
where
You
we
can
at.
tell. You can tell when someone is just like, what's the word? Capping.
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's just like I could see it because you can talk to a person in 5 minutes. You can figure out who they are.
And it's still with respect because it's not like, some people are who they are and some people not who they are.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a lot of homeless people damn near come up and try to want to be somebody.
Right.
So you get them from the scale of, I know he's homeless to, I can't quite tell if he's not just super rich,
Right.
because you have those out here. It makes it hard.
There's people that lose money and just become homeless too. You're right. Yeah. It's
But even just like the rich, it's downtown LA. They got bags of money walking around. The rich of the rich.
yeah.
And they're not celebrities. They're just, it's there. Marriott Hotel, Intercontinental Hotel, Staples Center.
It was in there.
It's the best money, at least the best entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And when people travel here, that's where they go.
Yeah.
So you got both of those. Now in Atlanta, yeah, you can go to a spot and you're going to see the celebrities. They there.
Always.
A lot of people, you have a lot of fakeness, but it's nothing like here though.
Oh yeah.
Nothing.
What is the difference? Because Atlanta is technically somewhat Hollywood-ish.
It's right now. It's turning to that.
It's turning to
Right.
that. Okay.
Right.
But you still have a lot more people with common sense.
It's that southern hospitality.
Yeah.
That's what it
Yeah. It's,
And yeah, I guess out here it's a lot of people just one-offs. Like it's not a
is. Right. It's a collection of people that just
Yeah.
moved here trying to use each
Right,
other.
right.
That's what you got. That's how you got to look at it.
yeah.
true.
You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
just like, most people that are here, they're young and they came from somewhere. Right?
That were here.
That way, yeah. That's so, like I said, it's drugs that's ruining them. They don't know
Yeah.
it. Like
Yeah.
it's mainly drugs. Homelessness is drugs.
But it's the best place to be homeless.
It is.
Yeah, LA is the best place to be
There's
homeless.
no snow, so you can just
Yeah.
sleep it off. And I mean, it gets cold too.
Yeah.
Lately,
it
it's
does.
been cold.
Yeah.
And drugs, main issue.
That's a whole nother rap. I was like, you can go all the way across the U.S.
Yeah.
with that one too, even just from how they're legalizing it in other places, just completely.
Oh, the crystal
Across the
meth in
board.
like Oregon. and
Oregon,
all that.
yeah. It's like
Jesus.
when I just heard they legalized everything, I was like, wait, the last time I heard about that area, it's like they have a big like meth and is that heroin problem?
Yeah.
Or some hard drugs.
Yeah.
And
My friend lives out there, so I had a conversation with him. He was talking about it's already bad enough. Like they start
Yeah.
doing this, like what's gonna happen?
But
it's probably
it's
to keep
still-
people from going to jail.
explain that to me.
everybody is.
Besides that, though, besides to keep people, if you're doing that to keep people from going to jail, what the fuck all the other states doing?
Yeah. Wow.
Because it's
Well, some
how
states
does
have a
that
bigger
work?
problem.
Right. It's like that's because I'm like it's completely legal across the but why? Because we don't want to lock up people.
It's for like personal use, right? It's not like if you get caught with bricks, you
No.
probably gotta
It's
go to
mainly
jail.
just so we don't
Yes,
want to
usually.
lock people up for it like that.
But then that's gonna breed so many crackheads. Because knowing that it's
I
legal,
I don't know because that's what they say about everything at the same time. And I know like Portugal has legalized everything for a few years now. It's been
Yeah.
a long time.
I mean,
I don't know if that like
I'm trying to think about it, but I'm still
even with alcohol, seeing like Europe, like you could probably legally drink at a restaurant in some countries
yeah,
at 12 or
that's how we
16
were
or
growing up in Africa.
Right.
We can buy drinks. No one can
Right.
tell you no.
But this is the most restrictive place yet it has a big drinking problem. So I don't know like if
because when
that
you
will-
tell somebody don't do it, they'll do it.
yeah.
If
But
you tell
I guess
somebody it's
so-
there,
So I'm sure that's what they were having the problem. So if with it being illegal and they're still doing it,
Mm-hmm.
so I guess they're looking at is how bad can it really get? It's already fucked up.
I mean, they could reverse it and test it out, and see what happens, and reverse it. Right.
So is it gonna get better?
I
I
mean,
guess that's a
yeah,
test
it's like that
case.
idea, like when you tell a kid, yo, don't touch that fire, he's gonna touch it, but when you just
Right.
well, a kid won't understand. But I'm just saying, like when something is accessible, you don't care for it, to be honest.
Yeah.
What do you think created that problem in Oregon versus
Right, because I was
Mississippi?
surprised when I
The
heard
weather,
about it
probably.
because I thought those drugs were gone. So
Yeah.
it's like to hear that there are places that even I think New Hampshire has the same problem. Like
There's drugs
heroin and
everywhere.
meth. But to that extent, I heard certain
I think
places.
the
have-
main issue of people being on drugs is money. I personally, like
What do you mean?
when
by-
people are fucked up financially,
yeah,
Mm,
you're gonna go to drugs. You just
Yeah.
trying to escape reality.
yeah,
mm,
That's my belief.
I
yeah?
guess.
Cause
Yeah.
I've seen it.
To hard drugs.
Oh yeah.
That's when they go too hard.
Or they're in a
And
lifestyle that they don't want, like in a job that they don't want, or
But
they don't
you
have the
know,
money that they want.
It's so many ranges of it though.
not a lot of people could say, some people just do one job and live forever, not be unhappy and just drink
Yeah.
and pass by. They work 30, 40 years and just live
Yeah.
their life. But people like us, we can be like, yo, I don't like this life, and you would switch it.
You can't work.
Yeah.
with-
Right, I can't do this shit. Like, you can't make me be here 30 years. Fuck that,
Yeah.
But
No way.
that's how people escape reality, like drinking, smoking,
So what about like?
injecting, whatever.
Okay, so you drink?
I drink occasionally.
Okay,
I just quit. It was my
what
birthday
about-
2 weeks ago, so I just drank like crazy and I quit.
What about for people that don't do anything?
I respect them. I feel like they're more tunnel vision to it, because it's like, they say drinking is like, I'm not trying to be preachy. I drink, so I don't want to
Yeah.
sound like
Right.
when you drink, it's just like you make dumb decisions. You they say like you put evil spirits in you. That's what drinking is, right? And the
Spirits.
spirits are evil
Spirits, huh?
spirits. Because you make like irrational, dumb decisions. Like, for example, like you just text somebody that you're not supposed to text.
Impulse control goes away,
Right.
and
But you're super honest, but it's like
Yeah.
that your internal feeling is gonna come out.
yeah,
But I don't know. It's just
That's
It's-
a good way to look at it.
Right.
So that's just always been interested.
yeah.
I drink too, but
I do too. I'm not gonna lie to you.
right. I'm saying, but it's still my relationship is probably different from your relationship. You probably drink different from how I do.
What do you-
Somebody else probably drink
You
different.
drink clear.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
saying I just actually. I've just started drinking more margaritas more. It's not like I just been taking shots and drinking more beer or drinking this.
it does it for the taste.
I just
more
been drinking
so.
margarita,
Right.
and I've been realizing it's more for just the taste
So
of the
yeah.
margarita. But even just before that, it wasn't. I maybe drink a Corona every once in a while. It's never really to get drunk. It's not really a
Strawberry.
drunk. I don't like the drunk feeling.
Right.
It's just kind of almost more like a certain ease, a certain relax
Mhm.
for a certain in a certain way. But I'm the kind of person I like to be able to operate. I want to be able to get up and
Yeah.
go.
Exactly.
I can smoke and chill.
Yeah.
I've been smoking for so long, so I know, where I'm at with that. So
I'm the type of person, I'll be honest with you, like you could give me half this cup and I'm done. I'll get super wasted. So that's why I like to level
Yeah.
myself. I like that, like, that zone when you drink, when you sip.
yeah.
I like that zone. After
Yeah.
that, I'm a mess. So I don't want to go there.
So
So-
like, do you feel like you can drink a little bit and write?
I've never done that. I'll be honest with you.
It shuts you down, or
No, like I feel like it worked, but I don't want to depend on alcohol. So I never done it.
Oh yeah.
Like I used to be at a club or parties or whatever, and whenever I'm, you have to be drinking. Whenever I'm drunk and I hear a song or a beat, I'm like, I could kill this, or like I could do what he did, way better,
You're in a creative state,
right?
everywhere.
And I'm like, yo, like I pay attention to like every instrument. I'm like, oh my God, this shit is amazing. But I don't want to be depending on like, I don't want to go home with like, or to my car rather, right? Just with a
It's
bunch
not
of
the
drinks,
same, yeah.
and then just sip just to like fill it. That I don't want that.
So is the car like a meditation, almost like driving and stuff? Because I noticed that when I'm driving, because you always say you write in the car
Right.
and you record in the car. So it's like, I know when I'm driving, I get this, it's like my brain is at its most active, like imaginary wise. Like, so I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'm the most creative when I drive. So when I'm driving, I remember when I was in college, one of my professors told me, turn off the music and drive. Because I used to be the loud blaster.
Yeah.
And then ever since I shut it off, I always drove with the music off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless I'm hearing a beat to write to write. That's it. Nothing. No radio, no Spotify, nothing. So I turn it off and I just drive. What happens with that is you get deep in your thought. Sometimes you drive yourself crazy, and I'm like, yo, I don't know how I drove here from there to here, which is weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get super creative, and I just think of like bars or whatever. I just write, and then I put on a beat just to listen, and then I just cruise by for inspiration, like Malibu and shit. And then it's like, wow, okay.
That's crazy. That's kind of the same for me.
Yeah.
Like most of the time I'm driving the car, I'm driving quietly because I guess my brain is going.
Yeah.
But then I do listen to his beats a lot. He has a bunch of beats, and that is okay because it's like a background to it's like a soundtrack to my thoughts. So it's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you listen to radio, it's like,
There's
advertisements, and it's like,
it's a different vibration.
Yeah, 1-800, like, bro. That shit.
Yeah, I haven't listened
Come to
radio.
Universal City, blah, blah, blah. Like, shit. Like,
We don't know what. I couldn't tell you a radio station out here right now
I
to
started
save my
listening
life.
to radio a long time ago.
I just waste of time. Waste
Such
of
a
time.
new age of listening to stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spotify has been quite the monopoly.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, turn the radio off. Just, listen to your own thoughts.
Yes.
That's what I would tell
Highly
people.
recommend that. That's why we've started releasing beat projects and stuff like that.
Right.
We call them soundtracks to the YouTube channel,
Mhm.
to where we use the tracks, on the video.
Right.
So, soundtrack to YouTube.
You
channels.
guys
That's why
are
we
you
tie
guys
it
are
together.
woke. That's the word. You guys are woke. Yeah. I like that.
Appreciate
Yeah.
But yeah, that's using all the beats, man. Just using them.
That's what's up. We need to, collaborate one of these days, man.
Oh, yeah,
I
man,
might need
definitely,
beats,
man. Yeah,
We
yeah,
actually been
definitely.
talking about doing like setting up like some kind of a showcase or a writing session or something
Okay.
on the podcast, like
Okay.
on a weekly or bi-weekly.
Oh, that would be
cycle
amazing.
to
Kind of
where-
like a live recording.
Yeah.
Like even engineer somebody recording and
Yeah.
something new, something outside the box.
Could be like multiple people right
Yeah.
into one.
Yeah.
We're
I'm
still
with it.
kind of trying to work
Storytelling.
it
I was
out,
telling
yeah.
Nebdo, about storytelling,
Mhm.
because that's kind of what I'm more into too. So it's more like getting some artists. You tell your story on this bar, you tell your story on this bar,
Okay.
and just kind of
Yeah.
doing some music. And it's more like it still go as the soundtrack to
To-
American Gypsy.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's easy. Just get it done.
right. Because the music ain't no problem, and
Right.
the lab is here. So,
Yeah.
and it's just pulling together, one by one,
Right.
networking. We
Right.
kind of use this as a networking platform.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah. Unity. It's important.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Unity. Yeah.
And it's working, man. We've enjoyed the platform. All of this is a new vibe.
I love it.
Sponsored by Downtown LA, so it's kind of focused at downtown LA and LA.
Mhm.
So that's why we ask a lot of LA questions as
Right.
well and stuff like that. So
Well, that and we're new, and whenever
How
we
long
come
you guys
across
been here?
across-
A year?
3
Well,
years,
3
years.
almost
3
3 years. Yeah.
You guys Angelinos now.
yeah.
Right.
We're-
That's
Yeah.
yeah, we've seen enough.
yeah. We learned
Yeah.
this place pretty quickly.
You pick up. You
Yeah.
pick up fast. It's a fast city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the street performing that's been my number one networking place. So
Yeah.
I've met a lot of people.
Where do you do it at?
Right at 7th and Fig,
7th and
where the
Fig.
Target is, right down
Oh,
here.
yeah, I know where that is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a lot of vendors out there now.
That's by all the taxis.
Yep.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. H&M and like
Yeah.
all them stores is there. Yeah. Zara,
Yeah.
all that. I know where that is.
Yeah,
So
that's
the
where I'm
taxi
at.
drivers,
Yeah.
we actually know most.
Yeah, yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah, we can walk through down through there, and everybody knows.
It's inside the plaza where.
No, I was right
Just
there on the street.
outside.
Oh, right on the
block,
street.
Right down the street.
There's
yeah.
a lot of vendors and
Where the hotel,
people that bring-
Intercontinental is like.
yeah.
Yeah, close to that.
Right,
yeah.
right. I remember.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, it was just me, but now it's
There's a
bunch
few
of
people?
It's
There's
just
more.
no, it's just me. Yeah, there's a bunch of vendors out there now.
How is it like? Do
It's-
I mean, I don't want to ask a personal question, but like, do people pay
Oh yeah,
good?
Yeah.
Okay, it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
okay.
I'm good at what I
Sorry.
do.
Okay,
So I bring my vibe. I play songs that I like to play. I have a lineup that I play. It's not like I'm trying to put on a show. I
Right.
go out there and I practice in public.
right.
Be in my own zone.
That's
Close
your
close
gym.
my eyes,
Yeah.
be there. Yeah. So it sets a whole vibe.
Wow.
One for tourists, they're coming out and it's like, oh, it looks a little sketchy, and then you get this vibe,
Right.
and this black guy playing his cello with his money out, and he's like, okay, maybe I don't have to hold my wallet so tight.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of homeless people, but I guess
yeah.
if he got this bucket out here and nobody's grabbing it, then
You know what's crazy? This is one area I don't come often.
a lot
Being
of people
here.
don't.
A
Yeah.
lot of people don't.
We
We're
don't.
actually noticing that even people that grew up here, one thing I noticed, people stay in their neighborhoods out here.
Right.
So people in Pasadena are definitely not going to West LA that much
Right.
or, moving around. And so they have the old perspective of whatever that's part of town was back in whatever 10
Right.
years ago.
Right.
And LA has changed a lot from what I heard
Definitely,
in the
yeah.
videos that I've seen. And so we notice a lot of people don't come here because they think it's just Skid Row and whatever.
No,
I don't know what
Not
else.
even that. It's just too for one, there's no parking.
Yeah.
Two, it's like super. Like, what are we gonna do there? It's like there's like one or two bars. Like if you go out, whatever, even the
Right.
restaurants are like. There's better restaurants on
Yeah.
the other side, like Santa Monica, Beverly Hills. So,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I just never thought of like coming here. So when I come to downtown, I'm like, wow, this feels like New York in a way. When you're
Small New York.
right
Yeah.
now, even the buildings are like it used to be like small, like not four, but like a few.
Yeah.
But now it's a whole lot.
I've even noticed
Yeah.
when I was driving Uber, a lot of people, I was dropping a lot of people off to clubs in downtown because I guess they open really late.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
most, yeah. So
Seeing the
how have you
craziest stuff.
seen LA change in the time that you've been here? Because I know it has changed a lot. I don't know around what time when it happened, but
I think like around 2010.
okay,
Ish.
it's pretty recent.
Yeah, they start developing downtown. Like they start making like new buildings.
Mm.
Back then, it was just mostly parking lots,
Mm.
and then that's when the parking game was like lit. Because people used to make money off parking.
Yeah.
And they start generating all these like high-rise towers with like apartments, and you start seeing them like 5 years now. Like you start seeing them in each part of the city. Rent is so expensive here.
Yeah.
Even the new apartments now, it's like $3,500 like for one bed. Just do it. I'm like, bro, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
They trying to drive people out.
For people trying to move to LA, which there's always people trying to move to LA, what are some neighborhoods you recommend to start off?
Palms, West LA, where I grew up.
Palms.
West LA.
Okay.
I think that was like the hidden gem, but
Okay.
now people start figuring it out, and then people start moving. A lot of people start moving there. So rent is kind of okay,
Okay.
but
I'm I would think West LA is a little bit
no,
more
now it's
expensive.
up.
Yeah.
But it's still okay than other places.
Yeah.
Right now, the cheapest where you can go is Koreatown because there's no parking lot.
Yeah.
There's no parking.
Yeah.
You have to like drive.
I did a lot of research
Oh
before
my
coming
God.
here, and that was actually one of the places I thought about
Mhm.
moving because I'm like, okay, their rent is pretty decent,
Mhm.
but I did notice a lot of complaints about parking. There's no parking,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, we got lucky.
What
That
about-
or Inglewood is growing right now like tremendously because they finished the stadium,
Mm.
and then Clippers is gonna do the Forum. They're gonna redo the
Okay.
Forum. I
Oh.
think they're gonna build another stadium. So it's like booming, but it's kind of early, but it's kind of late at the same time. But it's kind of
Okay.
early. Yeah.
So where would you advise people not to move to?
You know the usual like. I would stay away from downtown because, no disrespect. Like,
No.
I'm
We-
talking about like
Yeah.
because you guys are like
I know where they at as far
Yeah.
as in certain places
I'm
where
talking
you,
about in
you might
within.
pay $3,500 and you come out of your apartment, somebody might be taking a shit outside your
Right.
apartment.
I'm talking
know,
about like
no, we not-
Spring 7.
Yeah, I don't like that
Deep.
part of downtown.
Yeah.
Where it's
It
just like
looks like New York.
Oh,
Like it's very dirty and like industrial and old buildings
Right.
and
not
it's
even just to
sketchy.
like take your water up. It's like, how you gonna do it?
yeah.
Take your groceries up. It's like you gotta pay $300 for parking every month
Oh.
when you live in those like high rises. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's separate. That I would say. Well, Pasadena's far but expensive.
Is it?
But
Okay.
it depends on where you're coming from. So Atlanta,
Atlanta's
it
cheap,
take
huh?
you about 40 minutes to get anywhere in Atlanta.
Yeah, I was at Stone
Yeah.
Mountain.
So for us, 20
Yeah.
minute a 20-minute ride, 30-minute ride.
Oh, you guys don't mind? Oh, you
it
guys
ain't
don't.
that bad.
Oh,
No, we drive like 20 minutes to go to Costco.
see,
in
that's one
Burbank.
thing I realized. Like, I was in Houston when I'm in Texas or whatever. They say, "Oh, the spot is 40 minutes," and I'm like, "What?" That's like to us. That's like Riverside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Pomona,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Yo, we can't be driving all
That's
the way
what
out
I'm
there."
noticing.
But that's
about
the only
here.
thing in our mindset that changes it. It's just the name of the place.
Mm.
You know, it makes it far for certain people. But with us, it's like, that's still in Georgia. That's like just,
Yeah.
that's from Marietta to Stone Mountain. That's going to be 40 minutes.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But in
You know.
DMV, if you drive 40 minutes, you might be in another state.
Definitely.
So
Yeah,
like we
you going
realize
all the way from
different
Alexandria
cities,
up
people
to
are-
Baltimore.
Baltimore, exactly.
basically, yeah, you'd be in another state.
Yeah, over here it's like 40 minutes out. Up north, when you hit 40 minutes, you in like Calabasas.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's nothing there except rich people, whatever. But when you drive east, you in Pomona. So that's, to us, that's like super far. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Like when we drive south, it's Long Beach,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
For us, it's, I guess we got used to a lot of different places. So
Right.
it's, like we said, we'll drive to Burbank for, actually, when we first moved here, I was going to places in different towns or cities
Right.
just so I can get to know the different areas. or
Yeah, it's
whatever
good to know.
like
It's
that.
good to know. But once you,
I would expect a
We
big
go to
city
Costco's
like,
in, like,
this.
Burbank.
really?
I would think
Yeah.
people like are used to driving to
Wow.
different.
But-
are you, well, Burbank is not that far from
It's
here.
like 20
But
minutes.
it's
So
about
that's
the
the best
same
thing
though.
about living downtown. If you don't know, it's like everything is the same distance away.
Not the beach. Not Santa Monica. You guys are further out.
And
Oh, yeah,
we can
yeah.
get there in
I'm
25
right
minutes.
now I'm in mid city. Like
Right.
West LA area, right? Mid city. I'm the closest to everything.
No, see, this is how I don't get how people think being in West LA or mid city would be close to everything. Like downtown technically is like equal distance to like the east side. Even going to Santa Monica is like 25 minutes without traffic,
Yeah.
obviously. And then Burbank is 20 minutes. And then going, say, El Monte or whatever would be another 20 minutes.
Our
on it.
end is downtown. That's how we look at it. When we're mid city, we're like,
I
okay,
noticed
Yeah,
that.
that's-
Like people actually.
we don't stretch further out. No, hell no.
I noticed here downtown is actually like West LA or mid city,
Right.
and then everything else.
We're
is
looking at it
there.
from like Santa Monica to downtown. If you're in mid city, Beverly Hills is like close. I'm like drawing it out. Beverly Hills is close.
Yeah.
Inglewood is close. Inglewood is like super close.
And
Downtown.
I guess
or Santa
people.
Monica.
I can see people would think, downtown is the end because nobody's trying to go
No,
east.
that's it. East LA is
I
like.
guess so.
Shout out to
another-
people. I have friends in East LA. No disrespect, but it's nothing.
It's a whole nother.
Carson. People go to Carson a lot, but
Yeah.
They're out there.
yeah, there's a bunch of people.
So it's an even drive almost, at least time wise.
And I feel like traffic is
There's
always
one on
going
Los
up.
Feliz. Costco's on Los Feliz that might be a little closer.
That's
that
in
we
Echo
go
Park.
Close to it. It's more Glendale.
Glendale.
But yeah, they're all
Glendale.
close to.
Yeah, I wouldn't say people. Yeah,
Really?
that's one
What?
thing. That's it's just super bougie.
Okay.
Yeah,
Costco is 20 minutes anywhere.
What about the Valley?
the Valley.
I know some people recommend.
It's
there
cheaper.
for-
It's
yeah.
cheaper for rent wise, but if you can handle the heat and like handle the drive, because the 405 is disgusting.
Yeah, that's
Oh
what I
my God.
noticed.
The 5 and the 405 is the most disgusting freeway, especially
Yeah.
like peak hours,
Mm.
rush hours. So say you live in LA and then you you work in LA, live in the Valley. It's like expect 4 hours out of your day each day
Yeah.
to go commute back.
So that money you save gets taken away with gas money,
Definitely.
frustration, time lost, all of that
Yeah.
stuff. So I know a lot of people recommend the Valley to save money, but
The Valley.
Believe
But if you
it or
work in the
not,
Valley,
yeah,
There's
if you
still
work in the
people that
Valley, yeah.
Uber every day, Uber and Lyft to
Yeah,
work
I've seen
every
that.
day.
That's crazy.
but they still stuck in traffic.
Still
Yeah.
in traffic. Right, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The money that they spending in Uber
Oh yeah.
is
There's a lot of people with money in LA. One thing you got to realize, you can never tell because they look regular, but
Mhm.
people, it's a rich city.
they got a survival bag.
Right. Yeah.
And that's why we love it. That's why we're here. You got at least had 10 million in LA County.
It's 10 million now.
It was like at least before
But
COVID.
they
it
said a
was
lot
10
of
million.
people
I thought it was
moved
8.
out. Oh,
Right,
no.
I need to ask now to see.
Mm.
But yeah, when you used to ask, I used to ask Google how
Mhm.
many people in LA County.
LA County. Okay, that includes
LA County.
Okay,
A
I thought
lot
that
of-
was the city.
LA County.
Yeah,
LA County is still Long Beach,
Yeah, it's still
included, right? Carson,
Yeah.
Pomona is LA County, I think.
Really? Oh yeah, I guess.
No, it's the Inland Empire. No, is it? Probably Ontario. No, Ontario is it? Not LA County.
Yeah, I think that's
Norwalk, all that added.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a pretty big area.
it's complicated.
LA is huge, but it's just we focus on the main.
I've noticed,
Yeah,
what
that's it.
people consider LA is that.
Yeah. The main part,
Yeah.
Mid City, Culver City, Santa Monica, downtown.
Yeah, West LA.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
So what all places have you traveled in the US?
I've
And
been
I guess
almost
outside of the US.
I've been almost everywhere. Except for like Seattle.
Mm.
And besides that, I've been traveling. Like I've been to Texas. I've
Dope.
been to
What are some of your favorite spots?
my favorite spot. I love Atlanta.
Favorite
I fell in love with
cities.
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah, something about it. I just fell in love with it. But New York is dope. Texas is dope. I've been everywhere.
What part of Texas?
I like Houston. I like Dallas too, but Dallas is like super huge.
Yeah.
Everything's spread apart. But me and my friends did a road trip from LA to Chicago one time and back,
Oh,
and that
wow.
was like one of the best times of my life.
What cities did you guys stop?
We went through Phoenix, Albuquerque, Oklahoma City, St. Louis, Chicago, Kansas City,
Mm,
Denver, Las Vegas, back to LA. So
nice.
it was just like,
Yeah, I like traveling. I always wanted to, even before I moved to California, I always
Mm.
thought about like renting like an RV or something, doing a,
Oh,
like
yeah.
a West Coast thing, because it's the most interesting piece of America. I
Yeah.
feel like,
if you guys from the South, like you guys like driving, I think you have to experience like the U.S.
yeah.
the driving wise, because you'll notice, because I grew up in LA, so I'm so
Mhm.
used to like some buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
So I started driving, like when we get to like the mid America, you're like, damn, this shit is fucked up. I'm like, yo, it's like Africa, like for real.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, what's going on?
It's really boring.
Because
Like
what they show us on TV is completely different.
Yeah.
You go to Oklahoma, it's like, my goodness, y'all live here?
Yes, I grew up in Minnesota, and
Yeah.
we used to drive like to Canada through Fargo and stuff, and it's all just cornfields, and it's pretty boring. Basically, I feel like all the interesting stuff is on this side of the map, like Colorado, Nevada, Arizona. Like I want to get into all of that. We just went to Joshua Tree.
Oh, nice.
This weekend.
Oh, yeah, I like it.
I love that.
Dope,
That
man.
was really
As soon
good.
as
We gotta
pulled
go
up
back.
in the area, I was
Nature,
like, oh,
yeah.
man, love this.
But-
Every coastal city is amazing. Like Miami is incredible. New York is dope. Like
Yeah.
Seattle, LA, whatever. But besides that, the middle part, like I don't know, Idaho, Wyoming. I'm like, yo, good luck.
Yeah. Unless you're,
I know it's tax free, but it's like,
yeah.
you know,
What about like international travel? Have you
international. Well, I've been like most of Europe. I've been back home. I was back home
what
last.
which European countries?
I've been to London, Italy, Austria.
Ooh, Austria. I
Yeah.
still gotta hit up. Austria.
Yeah, it was dope.
Where, Prague or
Vienna.
Vienna?
Vienna. I shot a video there. I was
said
there for
Prague,
2
that was
days.
Czech Republic,
Prague is Czech
sorry.
Republic, yeah. Frankfurt. I've been to Munich. I've been to Russia, Moscow.
Oh, okay. How is that like?
Cold.
Man.
What about, was it like a culture shock or anything like that?
Nah,
Or is
it just felt like it just felt like old like Europe feels like old America. It just have the same,
Yeah.
but just the culture is different. The way people talk to you,
Mm.
their tone is very like aggressive. So you're like, who the fuck you talking to?
Yeah, like German is like that. Like I didn't feel like
Yeah.
people were very welcoming in
Yeah.
Germany. Like I had to go to Frankfurt a lot passing through,
Yeah,
and it's like when you're asking people for directions or anything like that, they just
Right.
get really frustrated. And they're like, "Oh, how dare you?"
yeah. I went to
Um,
Turkey as well. Turkey was
Ooh,
amazing.
I always wanted to go to Turkey.
I like hookah.
Yeah.
So their hookah was like fire.
What cities in Turkey would you recommend?
I went to Antalya. I went to Istanbul.
Okay.
Antalya felt like, weather-wise, it felt like back home, like Addis Ababa to me.
Mm,
I was like, wow, this is amazing. And they got great food.
yeah.
I'm like, wow, everything's organic. Like, even when you get
That's
fruits
how
here,
Greece was like.
I'm like, yo, I've been to Greece as well. Sorry, but
Yeah,
when you
okay.
open the orange, there's no fucking seeds.
Here,
Yeah.
right?
And I'm
Yeah.
like, what happened?
Yes,
They
so
took
it's
seeds
called
out of
the
everything.
genetically
Grapes.
modified.
No,
food.
I
Right.
even go to Whole Foods and get a 9 organic, and it's like very hard to find the seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So when I was
that's
in
why we
Turkey,
stopped buying watermelon.
yeah, there's an organic one that they sell in a little packet off of at Whole Foods.
Mm.
But
Says
it have
organic.
seeds.
A little bit like tiny small black
But
seeds.
the definition of organic has changed now.
Definitely,
so,
they're lying.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
for
when I
sure.
was there, like each fruit had, even the bananas had them. You know those?
Yes, because banana has seeds,
seeds,
and they
yeah.
took that out too.
And I was like, wow.
I didn't learn that until
good.
late in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do a segment of that, of the things you learned late in life.
Yeah, they're called burro banana.
Mm.
Dr. Sabi, pay attention.
For
Yeah.
sure. So, what part of Greece? You said Greece.
Athens.
We love
Like
Greece.
I was young when I was there.
Okay.
Like I was there for like 2 weeks or something. But I was like I still remember, I have pictures and everything. But Athens was
Nice.
dope. I seen all the Turkey but have the same like infrastructure
Okay.
of like the Greek Empire.
I think that's why I like traveling for the most
Oh,
part. It's
amazing.
like the architecture. America's so boring.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
It's
you
very
know,
modern, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not with the modern
Yeah.
shit. It's just a bunch of boxes with
Well, I'm
You
with it, but I'm with the
Well,
old shit
no,
too.
Like, okay, I would like my apartment to have modern architecture, but like when it comes to like, I don't know, it's just really boring
Yeah.
out here. Even the houses, they're like the same looking boxes or whatever, but well, not in LA, but other parts of America.
Have you been to Egypt?
No.
Okay,
That's one of the
that's one
places we
place
wanna
like
go.
when you guys see the pyramid, you're like, wow.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
man,
I
know,
can't
I'm
wait
just-
because
Yeah.
we're into
I look at
archaeology and
the
all of that
mountains
stuff
like,
too.
oh man.
So we got
Yeah.
a lot of research to do.
Yeah,
in
it just
Egypt.
doesn't make sense. You're like, what the fuck? Like, how?
It's big, right?
Yeah.
And a couple of places I felt that way. Like when I go travel somewhere, I read everything about it. I'll figure out where I need to go, all the roads, everything. And there's a few places where I've seen pictures, but when I go there, it's like there's no way to like get that feeling from a picture. Like I was like stunned.
Yeah, right.
Even like in Italy, like the Duomos and like the.
You were in Rome?
So I started out. So I did a whole Western Europe backpacking trip. So I got like a train ticket that will let you go to like you pick 5 countries and you can go unlimited train rides and all.
Okay.
Best way to travel in Europe because they're all pretty close to each other. And so I started I went from Switzerland to Milan. And then there I have family, so I stayed for a couple of days and then took the train to Venice for one day, like spent the whole day there in Florence and then went back to Milano because I have a place to stay there with family. And then the next day we would go off to Rome and we spent 2 days there. And then from there we went far south to Bari. And that was a little weird because they've never seen. Okay, wait, we went to Naples as well. Okay. Which is a popular spot, but be careful because that place looks.
They're racist.
Well, okay, so they have a lot of they have a lot of Africans there. But it's just like it looks really sketchy if you're not like in the resorts in the we were like in the city.
No, it makes sense.
And it's very dirty, rough city and scary.
The refugees, when they take the boat and go up, they go to South Italy.
Yeah, and so, it's pretty crazy. But I heard like the resorts and stuff, they're nice, but pickpocketing is very big there. Like you see it right in front of you. Yeah. And then went to Bari even further south and took a cruise ship to Greece.
Wow.
To Athens. Well, you can't really take a ship to Athens because it's not on the coast, but they got this crazy train ride after you get into the port. Yeah, it was like a straight. And then, we told the after spending some time in Athens, me and my sister, she lives in London actually, so we met up in London and then did
London is dope.
Yeah. And basically, we told the agent to pick us like 2 Greek islands, and book us like the trip there and like the hotel. And they picked Naxos and Santorini Island.
Santorini, I
didn't know about Santorini until I went there.
You've been there? Wow, that's the next place I want to see.
We got married in Santorini.
Wow.
Years later, like how many years later?
That's with the blue and white with the ocean. Oh my God, yeah.
So I went there in 2006 accidentally, and actually stayed on like on the other side where it's not like. So it looks one way on one side, but on the other side where the beach is, it's volcanic area. So it's the beaches have black sand. And, people don't really care for black sand, but it feels good and it's unique. But we stayed on that side of town where it kind of looks more deserty and the beaches are black sandy beach.
Right.
But I ran into some people and they told me about Santorini. You have to go to Ia. And we took a bus there. And it was amazing. It was like perfect sunset. It was a lot of people migrating to one spot to see the sunset because it has the best sunset.
Wow.
But I only had 2 days then, but I fell in love with the place. So like 16 years later, when it was time to get married, we picked Santorini Island. Wow. So we got to go back. And then we did honeymoon in Milos Island, which is better.
Where is that?
Milos is further south from Santorini. Probably it's a 6 or 8 hour boat ride from Santorini.
That long, was it?
No, it was like 4 to 6 hours. Then I would say, because 8 hours.
Better views than.
Okay, so there's with Greek islands, there's an island for everything. Mm-hmm. So you want to party, go to Mykonos and Ios. Mm-hmm. If you want to do like the luxury, like chilling out, then do Santorini. Like there's a lot of they've been taking in tourists for a long time, and even seeing the change in that span of time where I went for first and second time, it's changed a lot. So they cater, if you want to get married, there's a lot of things there. Everything is set up. It's like a factory, and it doesn't cost that much. If you want, but Milos is if you want adventure. So it has like 45 or more beaches there, and each one is super unique. Like super unique. You'll go to a beach, the whole thing is just white. Like it looks like you're on a moon crater, basically.
Wow.
But we have all of this on the YouTube channel.
I need to research this. Yeah, definitely.
But basically, we did
a
a bunch of videos on these. And then, so Milos is where the locals, where the Greek people go to vacation. So, and it's like more organized and just even like the restaurants and everything.
How is
they have
the
better
food?
customer
I wanna
service.
know.
Great.
Food is amazing.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sure.
can literally pick a hole in the wall that has $2 euros.
yeah.
Freaking amazing.
Yeah.
We had to keep going back. Yeah, like
Sure.
the food when you're
Fries
talking
in 'em and
organic
tzatziki
and
sauce.
just everything tasting good.
That's
they
one
got
thing.
it down.
Yeah, that's one thing I hate about here is the food is that you gotta be picky.
I'm very
Or else-
disappointed with LA with the food aspect.
It's overpriced, and when they slap organic on it, it's like overpriced and whatever.
But even like the quality, like I feel like certain states
which areas
have.
do you?
She cooked good, man.
Yeah, that's why. That's why.
Yeah, she cooked
No,
good.
but like
got hands,
you
huh?
know, there's different cities. Like okay, I would recommend like Atlanta and Philly. They got good food, like quality of food. No matter if you're going for Thai or like American or like pizza or burger. You know, it's like some cities, like DMV, I would say I'm very disappointed in that entire DMV.
That customer
No.
service is just terrible.
Not with Habershaw food, but with everything else.
Habershaw food, we killing.
No. Like Habershaw food, y'all got it down in DMV. But like,
Have you been to Nando's? Have you heard Nando's?
Yeah.
In DC?
Yeah.
I tried it for the first time.
Yeah, Nando's is straight.
But
Oh, it's good.
But it's
Was
like
that the same? That was
getting a
Nando's
good
in
ass
South
burger.
It's like
Africa,
peri
right?
peri chicken, yeah. It's peri peri, yeah.
You
Yeah.
like Nando's, yeah.
What I'm saying in South Africa, too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
is that the
it's-
same restaurant?
That's the
I
one.
couldn't think of the name of it. Though.
Yeah, it's
So,
good
yeah.
in South
I
Africa.
saw it and
too.
I was like, yo, I'm getting that. I remember September. I was in DC.
It was pretty pleasing.
It was good.
But just like the variety and like quality of food, it's just some places they.
You gotta
just
understand, there's good food in LA. You just gotta pick the right spots. Like depending on like what kind of food you want. If you want like a good Italian pasta or like pizza, there's a lot of spots.
So so for my birthday, we wanted to find a good Italian food, and I don't eat Italian a lot because I'm on a keto. I try to keep the carbs down.
Okay.
But like for my birthday, I was like, we're going out to Italian, and I couldn't like I looked up buca because I'm used to it in Minnesota, but here it tastes terrible.
No, that shit is like American version. You know when they Americanize Chipotle is not Mexican. It's
I know,
Americanized.
but like in Minnesota, the buca is amazing.
Nah,
It's very
like,
authentic.
there's
but-
low key spots. I could give you a few. Like well, the ones I like, I'll tell you. There's a spot called Da Pascal. It's in Beverly Hills. It's on Santa Monica.
Okay.
Very like it's not even expensive.
Okay.
Like they have, I like bolognese. Like so, it's like $18, $16.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
That or like there's another spot called by Santa Monica. You know the Ocean Park area
Yeah.
over there. It's called It's like I think it's Al Forno or Two Forno. That
It's
place
like I
is
feel
fire.
like I went there with somebody or tried to go
What's
there.
the name?
Al Forno.
Al Forno.
Okay.
Just like
I'll lock it in.
Yeah, that they have right next to it. There's another spot called Vito.
Okay.
Very Italian people. They're actually Italian, so they make good fire food.
Okay. I would see we haven't eaten in Santa Monica as much. So yeah.
Yeah.
we
Nah,
gotta
there's
explore
trust me,
Santa
LA got
Monica.
food. You just
Okay.
gotta dig. Like if you go to
I
like
will say like the suburbs have better food with some things. Like the best Indian food that I found is like way off somewhere, like either in Redondo Beach.
right here.
Mr. Masala?
No, I'm actually going there. I just thought about it. Thank you. I swear.
Indian clay oven.
Kapoor. Kapoor
What?
Akbar.
You know about the stuff
Oh,
I've never heard of.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Nah, I'm a foodie, so
Yeah.
I just
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. I'm picky. Like I rather
Yes.
eat like some good shit than like go to
Yeah, I'll
Subway
go
or some shit.
wherever.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So is this what's the other Medici? Where's the other one?
Medici, yeah. I don't know what street.
Yeah,
it's
that's
on.
right.
Medici's
here
on the other
Bixel.
side, right?
It's Bixel.
It's
Yeah.
literally on Bixel. Yeah, it's on
Okay.
Bixel. I couldn't find the name. That's why. It's literally right there. It's called Kapoor, Kapoor.
Okay.
It's
we're
fire.
gonna have to
It's
check
fire.
it out.
Yeah.
Because we love Indian food.
You like Indian? You like
Mhm.
spicy? Okay,
Yeah.
so their chicken masala
Mhm.
Yeah.
it tastes like dorowat.
What?
It's that fire. I was like, yo, this shit is good.
They
Yeah.
do. It is similar to Habershaw food.
Yeah.
Though. Like
She
they
eat it
just
like
have
Habershaw
different.
food.
Yeah.
She
I do.
naan.
I get
you
naan,
got
and
it.
I'm
No.
like not with
No
the
rice.
rice.
No
Yeah,
rice.
no,
Same,
no,
Yeah,
leave-
that's-
Same. We have a shot. Ain't gotta do that.
I'm like,
think
yo,
they
I need
know
the
when you
rice.
do
Let me get
that.
the rice
Yeah.
on here, man. I need
We're not used to rice.
Man.
You know.
Yeah,
I
no,
was-
I'm not with the
But
rice.
as far as-
baptized in rice. They went to Brazil. They throw rice on it. Yeah, give me some rice.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
that's
about Thai food?
good. Thai food? There's one I grew up with, so I just go there. It's called Natalie Thai.
Okay.
It's
Is
in-
that like on the west side?
think
or-
On the
might
west side of
sound
LA.
familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people love that place.
Okay.
I just grew up on it. It's good, but quality wise, it's good too. I mean, it's fair.
What about Korean barbecue? Since
I'm not
you're from
into
LA.
that.
Okay, you're not.
I'm not
into-
heavy on that. Like
Okay.
I had it one time, to be honest with you.
Yeah, same here. It was pretty good actually.
Yeah, I think I had it one time, but
Soul food.
so there's plenty. Honey Kettle, Culver
Honey
City.
Mm,
Okay.
okay.
Honey kettle.
Honey kettle.
Honey's
never heard
kettle.
of that one.
Okay, that's impressive.
So it's like
name.
fried chicken. That's soul, right? I'm sorry.
Well,
Yeah.
With like collard greens and mac and cheese.
Yeah.
dressing.
Yeah. So yeah, Honey's
Yeah.
Kettle. Honey's Kettle. It was actually. Have you guys? There's a song out. Pharrell's video, the news video Entrepreneur, with
I didn't-
Jay Z.
Did I
Yeah.
finish that?
They were
video?
showing
Yeah.
like every business.
Yeah.
That was part of Honey's
Okay.
Kettle was part one of them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was actually rated like number 2 or 3 best in LA fried chicken wise.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check that
So what
out.
you think about that song, Entrepreneur?
That's good.
Yeah.
I like it's catchy. Black man.
we forgot about it.
Yeah.
It's
I know.
crazy how music just, man, the phase goes.
Yeah.
Because they didn't even throw it in your face like you would expect for them to, after I think about it.
Right.
Well, you don't.
It was a subtle like because all the things that were happening, right? Like with the
Yeah.
whole George Floyd.
But they still didn't. Fuck Donald Trump is still more alive than that song.
Oh yeah. And that's the most ratchetest.
I haven't really heard that song.
It was.
I haven't heard the lyrics, just the hook mostly.
Oh,
I haven't heard, the whole song. Yeah.
he said, all the homies in the hood want to fight you. Like, it was some ratchet, but it's hard. It's
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So if you can collaborate with anyone, give me, no limits.
Kanye 1, The Weeknd 2, Little B 3. I just like
Little
B.
B. I don't know.
Bay Area
Yeah,
artist.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
Bass God. Shout out to Bass God.
Kanye would like on the production side, or you
Yeah,
want
both.
to collaborate? Okay.
Yeah, just both. Just his view on music is. I've never seen it like that in anybody. Jay-Z, of course, Young Jeezy. I like Southern artists.
I think I picked that up. Like you have a Southern vibe to your music.
Right. Because I like ghetto shit. To be honest with you, I love it. So, yeah, I mean that's what I can think of right now. To be honest with you, yeah, Hove, Kanye, Weeknd. Drake, of course. Damn, how did I forget?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just named big names, but I like to collaborate with him too.
I said no limits, right?
Yeah, of course.
I know what you meant right off. So what about like some of these artists? Familiar with any?
Everybody, all of them.
Right. That's like me. Yeah.
I'm gonna do a segment one day where we're gonna go through and talk about the artists, just like even just from.
Yeah, bro. I grew up on hip hop. Like all I did was, when I was in school, all I did was just go watch videos and pay attention to like directors, all that.
I wasn't that same.
That's how I was
studying. And I meet so many artists and it's like, man, what the fuck? Why am I so, why is my approach on music so much different? And
to me, I just ate this up when I was in high school and like.
Yeah, I wasn't into, I'm not a musician, but I was all about music and all of that. Right. Like I would spend hours listening before going to bed. Same. During the Napster days, unfortunately,
we used to argue about like,
oh yeah, like
you seen this video? You haven't seen this video?
Or what's your favorite track on the song? And you argue like, no, clearly number whatever is the best.
It's always number 2, 7, 13, the best songs. Yeah, look at every album. It's really? 2, 7, 13.
Wow. Okay.
7 is always.
7 is always hard. Yeah,
one of the best.
Okay.
That's like sequencing comes when you do your album. You put the best songs. Like you gotta come like number 1, you introduce it. 2, you come hard. Like we could look at any album. Like top of my head, like Get Rich or Die Trying, right? Second song is what? The quarter flips, and then he's like, "What up, cuz?" What? Like
I love that.
You can't top it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's like besides your own album, which I know you can listen to from front to back. Right. What's another album of someone else that they've released a project that you could enjoy from beginning to end?
I really enjoyed Neb's album actually that he put out.
Oh yeah.
I wanted a feature, but he sent me some songs. We just couldn't. I don't know. Somehow I got like caught up. I was doing some other stuff, but I really enjoyed his album. Like,
what's your favorite song?
The all of that one, do say, what you say. That was hard. I was like, yo, that should be your single right now. Yeah.
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 I know we've been in here about 2 hours, and I know you said we talked about food, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for everybody.
I'm the Yelp guy.
I know, right?
I'm the human Yelp.
They always like that.
We'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to American gypC Podcast. We definitely like to thank our guests for coming through.
And I mean, let them know where they can find you. Yeah,
you can find me on Instagram, YouTube, all that. Mikey Amare, MikeyAmare. I got a new album coming up, and I just released an EP with my brother, Bel Air. It's called Unstoppable. We just did a video for Walk. It's a song from the album. In Atlanta, it just came out. Just check it out. It's on YouTube, MikeyAmare music. 5 records, fresh off the boat.
And as always, you can find us at AmericanGypsy.com. You can find the podcast on all podcast platforms, Spotify, Google Cast, all the podcast platforms. And you can also find our vlog videos as well as the podcast on American gypC YouTube, gypC spelled GYPC. We also have consistent self-improvement merch at luamlee.com. And that's a wrap.
Thank you for tuning in, everyone. And again, consistent self-improvement every day in every way.
I would like to thank the sponsors as well. People who have donated. Thank you very much.
Yes, the people of downtown LA who donated from online to real life when I'm street performing to family members. Thank you, friends and family, to everyone who
Anchor
have helped
subscribers
support this whole journey. As we sign out, thank you. Good night.
Peace.